If you're familiar with my videos, it should come as no surprise that I'm very fond of fast primes. In my last review I took a look at my absolute favorite lens, the Olympus 25mm f1.2 Pro. On the same top list, just below the Olympus, you find this piece of metal and glass. It is, in both focal length and aperture, not very far from the Olympus, yet they're worlds apart. This is my review of the Mitakon Speedmaster 25mm f0.95. I've had this lens for over 2 years now, and going back to my Panasonic G7 days, it was my most used lens. While my decision to buy it back then was to get as shallow depth of field as possible, it has forever changed my opinion on manual lenses to the better. The lens is made out of metal and glass, and the build quality is extremely good for this price point. Considering how fast it is, the lens is very small. It is heavier than it looks, but since the lens is so short, it balances well on both the GH5 and the GX800. While the focus and aperture ring is very smooth to turn, one might wish for a bit more resistance of the aperture ring. Micro Four Thirds lenses keeps on getting bigger and bigger for every year, whereas this lens stays true to many people's idea of the system. As this lens' main selling point is the 0.95 aperture, it is safe to assume that most people will be using it wide open a lot of the time. I'm happy to say that it delivers excellent performance and center sharpness wide open. I was equally surprised by the image quality as I was by the build quality. In my mind, a lens of this caliber should cost a bit more. With that said, the performance isn't perfect. A bit of vignetting, barrel distortion and chromatic aberration is visible, and getting to terms with these shortcomings is crucial for being satisfied with your ownership. Flaring, however, leaves much to be desired. If you plan on buying this lens, don't forget to buy a lens hood as there is no bundled. Bokeh, or out of focus area rendering, is overall very pleasing except for some compositions with spots of highlights where the rendering can be perceived as busy. As pleasing is the character of the lens. Many of the Mitakon's shortcomings can be fixed in post, but lately I found myself not doing so, keeping the somewhat unique character of the lens intact. So, why would you buy this lens? If you want a small, all-manual and really fast lens, you can't go wrong with the Mitakon. Its shortcomings is easily overlooked once you realize there's nothing else like it for the price. Where the Olympus 1.2 gives you top performance in every situation, the Mitakon delivers a more vintage and unique character. That's it, thank you for watching. If you like these kind of videos, do consider subscribing, and if you have any question or feedback, please leave a comment below.